Recently, I came across something very nostalgic online and I could not stop myself from ordering them. Let me share it with you. I'm talking about Champak. Can you imagine that they still have books like Champak? It took me back to my childhood days. I think CD is the only edition, otherwise, it's exactly the same colorful cover. It still has all the stories and it has all the jokes and the puzzles, whatever we used to have in our childhood days. And I became nostalgic. Hi everyone, I'm Namita. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about all the fairy tales. Champak also has a lot of stories, and I have grown up reading Champak. Pinky K Comics was one of my favorite books. I loved to read them, and there were a lot of fairy tales I was into. Like Cinderella was my all-time favorite. It still is my favorite, and I think it is always going to be my favorite. I've spent a lot of childhood thinking about Cinderella situations. But then I was wondering, what is the point? What is the logic behind telling these fairy tales to children when the real life, when children grow up, is nowhere close to a fairy tale? Isn't it? I mean, this question started, pinching me that why do we tell these stories? Fairy tale is nowhere real. Then why do we tell children fairy tales when it has no purpose in real life when they grow up? And then I just came out with some of my logics which I would like to share with you all. If you agree with them, please comment down in the comment section below and let me know. And if you have some other perspective or other aspect of this whole fairy tale thing, do share it with me. Yes, of course, the fairy tales are nowhere close to the real life, but they do teach us some very valuable life lessons. Like Cinderella or The Princess and the Frog, we get to know that we need to give chances to people, that we need to come out of our comfort zone to have a wonderful life experience. If we would not come out of our comfort zone and if we'll just stick to our old methods, miracles won't happen. Of course, miracles happen, like happened in Cinderella. So it somewhere teaches us to believe. Now, only when I'm reading Champak again and I'm coming across all the stories, they have such wonderful morals. So I was thinking that yes, they do teach us emotions, they do teach us about relationships, they do teach us about friendships. They have a very wonderful moral wrapped up under the stories, under the layer of stories. We do have a very good teaching, a very good lesson. So emotions are taught through these books. Moreover, these stories, these fairy tales, they teach us about love. Otherwise, love for a child is only what the parents show them. So, love is such a magical word. So, all the miracles that love brings is, I think, learned through the books and stories like we have learned. And now, as we have grown up, we know that real life is not that glittery and glorious. There is always a downside to life. After growing up, and you have to fulfill all the responsibilities, you have to face situations, there are troubles, there are problems, there are struggles. We know that real life is not that amazing. But then these stories inspire us. During the bad times, these stories are the one which probably would motivate us, which will give us the capability to fight or to face all the problems in our life. So yes, these stories, even after growing up, they have the capability to inspire us to live our life to the fullest. Our overall experience with people is not so nice, especially in these days, that we always think that people are bad, or watching Crime Patrol on TV and watching all those things, we believe that life is not as good and people are not as good. But when you read these stories, it will just change your perspective. So to change that perspective of life, we need to read these stories. The children need to know the fairy tales, to know that the world is not such a bad place and people are not always bad. There are good people. So it does have the potency to change our perspective completely. Now, the last point that I'm going to cover here is something which is true for me. The reason why I keep switching to books so often. It is that these books act as an escape from reality. As I've mentioned earlier, that reality is not so fairy. It is more about responsibilities. It is more about excelling in life. It is more about keeping yourself motivated, doing tasks for others, taking care of people, all of that. So sometimes we find it very tiring and tedious, and this is the reason why we need these fairy tales, just to take an escape from the reality, from the real world. We just need that time off where everything is so beautiful, everything is so sweet, so nice, so fairy tale-ish, that we need that time. So the children, of course, need that dreamland to grow up into, so that they believe that dreams can come true. I think all the purpose of these books is that we need to believe, that we learn to believe. These books make us learn to believe that miracles happen, that good things happen, that dreams come true. I think it all comes down to that belief which these books have the power to create in us, that everything is possible. This was all that I wanted to share with you all in this video. If you agree with me and you like this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such videos. You can leave a comment down in the comment section below telling me your views and perspectives, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.